Go.
Is that on? Okay. So this is a cold start. We're in neutral. Handbrake's on. I pulled the choke out a little bit. It doesn't need much choke at all. More important is I pulled the throttle keeper out just a little bit. Usually just pump it a bunch. And I get the choke going back in right away. You can see it's more having the throttle keeper out than anything. And that's a dead cold start. So that's I ran it 24 hours. If you back up a little bit, honey, I want to show them the engine while it's running. Some people had asked about the hood and how it opens, but also you can see how smooth the engine's running now, especially given its age. Let's go take it for a ride. So from here you can see the heat gauge is just starting to come off of the stops. We've been running for about 3 or 4 minutes now. Got very good oil pressure. We'll get a shot of the speedometer running. The fuel tank indicator, there's dead spots. So depending on how full the tank is, it might suddenly read empty and then go back up. But right here we have just under a half a tank. And you can see because we just started it, we're charging, the generator's doing its job. Okay? Okay. Here we go. Interior.
Okay.
Okay, this is the crank out window. I'm actually going to lower it because it's kind of chilly out today. Being a fall day. Probably 40 degrees or so. Let's go ahead and start her up. Perfect date truck, right, honey?
Yep.
Okay, here we go.
So nice and close.
And you can kind of get out there, the field of view here. We have a small rear view mirror inside the truck, and then 2 outside. One was an option, the right side was an option. They do their job. The whole truck is kind of minimalist by nature, although the bucket headlights are optional, the chrome ones. Does not have turn signals. That was not an option in 47. My other truck had it. I always thought it kind of looked hokey, to tell you the truth, like a Napa bolt-on. You can see the speedometer is typical old speedometer. It kind of lags a little bit.
Let's close that window.
Close the tunnel too. That's fine.
Do you think this is enough?
Yeah, I'll turn around if I have. Turn around and pass through here. Don't need a speeding ticket to go along with it. Now you can see why I put the spinner on the steering wheel. It's all manual motion here. It's a good running truck. You can see, unless you come to a complete stop, you usually only go down to second. You don't need first, and first doesn't have a synchro, so you gotta really wait for your dead stop in that one. It's riding in the 47. Now that you did see the temperature is up to 160, that's probably a standard number for in the winter. Oil pressure still remains good. Your fuel tank is indicating about a quarter, and we're getting a little bit of a charge, residual charge from the generator. Here's your temperature control. It's really complex. 3-position on or off, that's it. You got an optional heater. And actually you can feel the heat coming out, which is kind of nice.
Okay, or?
Yeah, that's good.
All right.